Hey everybody, welcome back to Nick and Trav. I'm Trav.
I'm Nick.
Elegant as always.
Yep, eloquent. So beautiful. so, so stunning. So brave.
So brave.
Alright, so back to what we were fucking talking about.
You wanted
Alright,
to you wanted to
remember?
start getting into Final Fantasy. I was like, oh no, we don't have time for this.
yeah, yeah, right? We only got. So fuck. It's gonna go off on another tangent. Son of a bitch.
This is the last thing I need.
Oh, Lord. I mean, I'm okay. Um, I will confess, Travis, you have been through far too many tangents since we've been friends on video games. Oh Lord.
I mean, it's because we're doing that we're doing this.
Yeah,
It's
it's true. Yeah, I'll give you
that's
that.
what makes it fun.
Yeah. Oh shit. All right, so Sephiroth. All right. The song, the song's supposed to be "It's Birth of a God," and then it goes into "One Winged Angel," and then the final phase where it's just Cloud and Sephiroth. Like narratively, spiritually, like fuck the gameplay, like it all leads to that moment when you Omni slash the fuck out of Sephiroth and you save the world. Top three. 100%. 100% top three. Final
To,
bosses, 100%.
oh, I was gonna say so top three of all, like not just Final
Yeah.
Fantasy.
Yeah. For me, top three. One of the top three. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not.
And like I would die on that hill.
I'm not like I would have to think it over more. I'm not sure I would. I think I would call that top 10. I don't disagree with that, but I'm not sure I would call it that high. But I would need to think on that more. But I do agree that at least that's a good pick. When we first started talking about it, I was thinking like, really, that's like my initial reaction was like, oh, like that's the go-to, but like it's a go-to for a reason. I get it.
Yeah. All right. Number four. Ishin from Sekiro.
It's another one I don't have an
No,
experience with.
just no. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Okay. I did not hands-on play Sekiro because Dark Souls games do not entertain me. They do not they do not give me the they do not scratch the itch that most video games would scratch for me. I just don't play Souls games a lot. Do I watch do I watch other people play them? Hell yeah, dude. I watched Pat Stairshat play it. I watched Maximilian Dude play it. I've watched a few streamers actually play it. And I've seen that game upwards and downwards. I've seen the entire plot. I've seen all the boss fights. I've seen all the narrative shit. It's just no. No. Mm-mm. No. No. Like you're telling me that Ishin, like I mean, he was cool, but like he wasn't Gwyn from Dark Souls. Like Gwyn deserves to be more on this list than this guy. And I mean, yeah, you obviously probably didn't play the game, which is fine because I don't think you're not a big Souls guy, right?
I mean, I enjoyed it. I played the crap out of the first one. The second one, I started to, and for I'm sure we can talk about two for a while as far as why that one wasn't good. But yeah,
Breakfast flasks.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean, there's.
Magic was too broken. Sorry.
I mean, that wasn't what I was gonna say, but but yeah, I don't know. It was one of those things where like I played it because especially I didn't, if I recall correctly, I didn't have it. I think my brother bought it, and I would play it like when I was hanging out with him, type of thing.
just
And
casually.
yeah, and that like I know that there was like a big cock block of there's like a big suit of magical armor or whatever. That's like one of the very first bosses that sucks.
Uh,
Um, yeah, I couldn't even tell you too much after that because that's literally like the second boss maybe, and that was just kind of like where I ended up like just kind of, I didn't have enough time to invest into it and just like whatever. I guess I just won't play this for a while and then just transformed into not playing it.
alright.
And from there on, like I've touched like Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 and was interested in Demon Souls, but haven't even touched that yet. So no, to answer
Alright.
your question, not super into it, but I really like the first one.
Yeah, I mean, fuck Sekiro. Whatever.
I,
Alright.
yeah.
Move on to number 3. So Sephiroth doesn't, Sephiroth angers me. But this next pick angers me just a little more. Number 3, Ganondorf. But not just any Ganondorf.
From the Wind Waker.
The Wind Waker. The fucking Wind Waker one.
And I can see parts of it, like the backdrop to that is awesome. Like Hyrule's, or well, the ocean is like collapsing onto Hyrule, so like you got this, like this perceived like we only got like a minute to get out of here and do the thing, and he's got like these two blades, and there's a lot to like about it, but I wouldn't even say this is the best Ganondorf fight.
See, this is where I'm gonna go at. We look at a Legend of Zelda game. There are 3 consistent factors. Some games deviate from Ganondorf being the final fight. But narratively, that is because they are in their own little squad.
Yeah.
Puppet, whatever the fuck he was, what was he, like a fucking scorpion or some shit?
Wait, which one?
In the Wind Waker fight. When he had the big old puppet.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, he ended up being a few things. I think Scorpion was one of them. Or, no, it was a spider, but yeah.
The fuck, yeah. Calamity Ganon had more, like, oomph. You know? Like the big fucking Ganon from, Skyward Sword had more oomph than a fucking puppet spider.
Well, I mean, as far as just Legend of Zelda bosses, yeah, like I think that might be, yeah, like you said, it has more oomph, but obviously that's kind of Ganondorf, but not really.
Like, I don't, man.
It's gonna be a long episode. I can't figure out where I'm going.
Like, I'm telling you, man, like, that Wind Waker. I mean, Wind Waker was a great game. I'm not knocking Wind Waker as the game. I am knocking Ganondorf as a boss fight.
Agreed.
Because, like, yes, I do agree with you, Travis, the set piece, where, like, the water is just pouring in, and you're in this arena, and he's just like, yo, what up, dog? I'm fat, I got this robe on, I'm gonna, like, kind of samurai look, I'm gonna punch you in the face. And you're like, oh, I'm a little boy, fuck you, I'm gonna fight you. You know? And, like, you do the thing, you kill him. And, like, the music's kind of okay. And the art, oh man, the fucking art style, dude. Oh. I think that's what does it to me. Like, I'm not a fan of Wind Waker's art style, like the cartoony.
Oh, I mean, I'm about it, but yeah, that doesn't take away or from the fight itself. But yeah, I know it's kind of a either you really like it or you really don't.
Yeah, I know it's a nitpick. I know it is a nitpick, but it's a big enough nitpick for me to where it takes me out of it.
Sure.
Because like for me, like Twilight Princess and Ocarina of Time, Ganon fights. Sorry, not Ganon. Ganondorf fights are right next to each other.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling we were going to kind of end up on the same spot here, because I agree that those are both superior to the Wind Waker ones. I think I would pick Twilight Princess, just because, like, I mean, you know, people have their own opinion as far as like if Twilight Princess is good or not. But what it set out to do, I think it pretty much did, in the sense of like it was trying to give you that epic, you know, that epic, like, you know, we're going on this grand quest, and like there's some shit that's going to go down. We're going to fight Ganon, and like, not to say Ocarina doesn't do that, but that's clearly like what Twilight Princess wants to do. And I think it mostly does do
Him
that.
on horseback, dude. You fight him on horseback, and then you both get off the horse. And the sages make you a small arena. It's just you and him and the Master Sword, and you can pull out the fishing pole if you want and really scare him up.
Yeah.
But I mean, like even then,
Sure can.
even then, like I mean, just fuck. It was just good. They were both very good fights. Narratively, it felt amazing. Like it felt earned when you beat the shit out of him.
Exactly. So yeah,
And then we have Wind Waker.
and I think that's why, like, because you basically have the Wind Waker is at the end of the day, that boss fight is just a rehash of Ocarina, and not to say that Twilight doesn't kind of do that, but it also makes it feel its own. Whereas Wind Waker literally just like, oh yeah, you know, just like smack him around a little bit, and then eventually Zelda will come in, and then you just, you know, do the light arrow off the shield, and you know, you've done this before.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas obviously that was new for Ocarina of Time, so it gets to have that, you know, that it was that first, while also having the actual like Ganon, or you know, the he turns into the beast, and like there was more to it.
Not just that, Travis, but the music, the fucking music, dude.
Yeah.
In Ocarina of Time with the hymn, and like you had the background with the snare drum, and like it was tense, it was brutal. You had like, you felt like you were running out of time, and this was like this end all be all fight, and it was epic, and in every sense of the word, it was epic. And you just felt it. And then you have Wind Waker.
Yeah. So it kind of sounds like if we had to pick one Ganondorf fight, which one would you do? Because I think I would go Twilight Princess, and it sounds like you're maybe going Ocarina.
No, I would go Twilight Princess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to me, and I know this is blasphemy for every human being that's like, oh my god, Legend of Zelda greatest series. Twilight Princess to me was the best one.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That's not the most common take, so.
Oh yeah, it's not a common take at all, Travis.
I just didn't realize we've talked Zelda before. I didn't. If we did talk about this, I did not remember that was your favorite. So that's a little bit of a surprise to me.
I know one other person in this universe that was like, yo, Twilight Princess, that's my jam. And that was Tauntaun. That's it. It's the only other human being I know.
You know, I'm not completely against that take. It's between. I think overall it would have to be Twilight Princess for me, but it's hard for me to not really like Majora's Mask as well. And not just for like edginess or whatever, but just for like the whole
Yeah,
like
see,
system.
That's the argument or the put down that a lot of people want to throw when they find out Twilight Princess is the favorite, because oh yeah, you're just doing it because it was dark and kind of edgy. And I'm just like, no, I did it because like the narrative made sense, and there were characters, and like it was the first game where Zelda literally goes, hey, so I fucked up. I totally let this happen. Um, I'm not a damsel in distress because I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna fuck shit up alongside you. But, yeah, I fucked this one up. Can you help me out?
My
Like,
bad.
there was a real moment where Zelda stopped being just the background character.
Well, not only that
And
too, but like, you know, Link got his own stuff too at the beginning, where like you're just the ranch hand or whatever, or like, you know,
you're
there's
just a farm boy.
yeah,
Oh man.
there's like a whole like, hey, this is you, like, cool, isn't it? And then shit goes down. Like you actually have, you know,
And not just that, like I mean, you had a cute farm crush, you know,
yep,
and you had like a job, and her dad was really into you, and he liked wrestling, and you were like, yeah, I like sumo too. I'm gonna sumo your daughter later, but you never do, because you're not destined to be with her.
damn you, fate.
But see, like that's the thing. To me, it was always interesting to look at how Twilight Princess looked at the way of the legendary like soul, like you know, of the Legend of Hyrule. Like obviously they played around with how the lore, quote unquote, worked, and you know, is it truly fate that Zelda and Link meet? Is it truly fate that this is what always happens? You know, and they played with that, and that was really cool. And like I said, Zelda wasn't a fucking pushover in that game. You know, there are parts in that game where she whips out that rapier and is like, "Yo, we're fucking some shit up. Let's go."
Yeah.
You know, she's not this little damsel, and she's not, you know. And I mean, like, if you look at Ocarina of Time, oh yeah, she's chic. She runs around and does ninja shit. We see her do nothing
Yeah.
and get thrown around in Kakariko when when Jabu Jabu comes out and starts punching kids in the face.
Right.
You know, that's all we see. And the second she shows up, Ganondorf just like bloop, pokeballs that bitch and just takes her to the fucking tower. Like, now, in this one, you know, we see Zelda get corrupted and sent to the Shadow Realm. And she's just sitting in the tower going, well, I fucked up. You know, my kingdom's completely under the control of this crazy Zant guy. He just walked in and I done fucked up. And I gotta pay for that now. And this is real. This is a character arc. You know, Zelda has a fucking character arc.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have that until Breath of the Wild again. And I mean, and if we're gonna talk how Zelda is in Breath of the fucking Wild, dude, next to Twilight Princess Zelda, Breath of the Wild Zelda is just as good. But I'm not gonna lie, Trav, we can talk about this for a decade, which we will probably talk more after we finish this list.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
Next.
we're going on two episodes now of doing a top 10 list. So we might want to finish this up before we get into more Zelda. So, yeah, basically landing. I think we both agree then Ganondorf for, you know, for president for top 10.
Yeah, for president. Yeah,
Yeah.
Perfect. But no, like I agree. I agree that he's on this list. I agree. I can agree with them. Yes, Ganondorf belongs on this list. But with the Wind Waker version, no, that's stupid.
Right.
Twilight Princess or Ocarina of Time. And now for the real fart in the wind over here. Sans from Undertale.
This is number 2, I believe, right?
Yes, he is number 2 on their list, which we know for a fact some fucking some Tumblr person made this top 10, and I'm not insulting anyone that actually uses Tumblr as a means to, if that's your social media platform, that's your platform. You love it, you live it, you do whatever you want on it, power to you. But yeah, fuck Undertale. Just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm just gonna say it, alright? I remember when it first came out, I was on the ground floor, I played it, did all 3 runs within like 4 days. And at the beginning, I liked it. At the beginning, I remember going into work and talking to you, Trav, about it, because I was playing the soundtrack
Yeah, we played
and,
that
and loving
soundtrack
every
a lot.
minute of it. Yeah, I did. It was a great soundtrack. At the beginning, I loved it. I recommended it to you. I recommended it to Sarah, Tauntaun, pretty much the entire Flow team. And I was like, yo, you guys ever want to play video games, play this game. It's pretty great. And then, like, my one stipulation was I told everybody, like, you're going to have to play through it 3 times. And that was a turnoff for a lot of people. And in my head, I was like, that was more of a turnoff for them than me, because, I mean, I knew I had to do that. Because obviously, when you finish your neutral run, it says, oh, well, you know, this thing could happen. And then you do, a lot of people save the genocide run for last. And then the quote-unquote true ending is when you spare everybody, or what is called the pacifist run, where you don't kill anybody. And that's great. I mean, narratively, sure. None of the runs feed into each other, which is why, you know, the argument of, well, you know, you have to play Nier Automata like 7 times. Yes, but, you know, every single ending feeds into the next run, and the next run actually gives you more lore and another perspective of the actual game itself, and the story continues.
Mm-hmm.
In Undertale, it does not. You know, not killing everybody isn't the same as killing everybody. Those are 2 very distinct stories, and they run completely parallel to each other, but never truly connecting. Which I find fucking stupid. Like, if you're gonna... It's such a hate relationship with Undertale. Like, to try... Oh my god, did you just fucking die?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing.
I mean, there's stone guys. You just hit them with your stick.
Yeah, well, I've been doing it for like 20 minutes now. Something had to give.
True, I'll give you that. Does Psycho Crusher not, like, 2-shot him?
No, it doesn't seem to do a whole lot of damage.
That sucks.
It's purely
So then
just
I guess
destroy
it truly
walls
is
and enemies.
just... Yeah, I was gonna say, it looks like you just break walls with it. But yeah, so Sans from Undertale. Undertale's a shit game. And
it's the very next game we're gonna play.
no. No, dude, every episode is just gonna be me ruining every moment. Telling you to do the like, oh my god. And like, I mean, you know, it's one thing to hate the game for the game. You know, I dislike the game because when you do the specific runs, it feels like the game when you do the pacifist run, that story feels so much more fleshed out and so much more engaging, and it feels like that's the run that he wanted people to do. So in my head, I'm like, well, then why the fuck did you give me RPG elements in this visual novel you wanted me to play? Because that's all it fucking is.
Yeah.
It's literally just a fucking visual novel with some interesting, like, concepts for combat that you never do. So think Persona, but every time you get into a battle, you tickle the demon, and you move on. They say some dumb shit, and that's it. You move on to the next fucking day for your life sim. And no, it isn't deep. It's not a fucking deep game. Oh, well, it asks you, why in an RPG do you just mindlessly kill everything? Because it's a fucking game. That's what it is. Alright? Narratively, you give me a reason to murder the demons. In Undertale, it's just, oh, well, you know, you're just doing it for the XP. It's like, oh, go fuck yourself. Like, get your high and mighty bullshit out of here. It's dumb. If I wanted to be preached at, I'd go watch Gundam. But yeah, that's my hate for Undertale. Sans is not a. It's not an interesting fight. It's a dance. That's all it is. It's the same mechanic every single time. It is literally a dance. And boss fights, no. If a boss fight is a dance, and there's nothing you can do to either make it quicker, or it's nothing that the boss fight can do other than to continue to do its mechanic, it's done. That's stupid. So fuck Undertale. Alright. I feel like it's time to end the episode before I just start going.
Yeah. How about this? Maybe we will. We'll
talk about number one next episode.
We'll talk about number one next time, and we talked off air about like doing our own top 10. Maybe we'll just float some ideas next time, and then
we'll
come
after
back.
we're done talking about it.
Yeah, and then we'll maybe at the start of Mechanicus next week or something. We'll come up with a slightly more concrete top 10 and talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, next episode we'll talk about number one and then we'll float. Yeah, you know what? That sounds great.
Cool.
All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Smash the like button. Do like stuff. Comment. Words. Yeah. You'll have a good night.
If you talk about my take in the comments about Undertale, you're wrong. All right, cool. Tell somebody you love them, guys.
And be good to each other.
Okay.
We'll talk to you next
All
time.
right, guys. Adios.